a really good Raw. Not as great as last week, but a really good Raw. Uh, and the reason I say that, because I was like, other than the qualifying matches for the 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 royal family of the ring, I was like, I'm tired of saying king or queen. Um, but then we had like a little BS up in there. You know what I'm saying? Um, but I was like, I did think we got a decent promo out of Drew and Damien. Really, nothing was really like much to do about anything. Just that Drew, once again, dumping on CM Punk, talking about don't you see that his actions, all the other stuff, and talking about Jey Uso, and then came at Damien Priest, but then Priest comes out basically like, why don't you do this face to face? Oh, you basically calling me a paper champion, but I am champion. All the stuff that you keep talking about is your own doing. Uh, I'm glad it went the route it did, because when he said you decided to become a WWE superstar, right? You decided to live this life. I was like, oh, this is gonna be one of those like it was gonna like just come off. I thought it was gonna be something that's gonna come off flat, and I was like, but here he did point out pretty much that he's like, I tried to cash it on Seth, you wouldn't allow me to. Then you said, hey, why don't you just cash in on me? And that's what I did, and you mad. And he's right. Yo, I was like, he's right. I wasn't even thinking about that or nothing like that. But that is true. But I don't know if I doubt we get it at Saudi. But he basically said, Drew, you got your title match. So it's going to happen at Clash of Castle, like we all sort of all speculated. Um, yeah, I was like, I guess that'd be in another month or so or something like that. Because I was like, the Saudi one is like next week, and I was like, didn't we just have Backlash last week? Damn. Um, but yeah, that I was like that promo out of the way. I'm just trying to think of like all the other. I was like, so I know some people might not be liking it, but I like Chad Gable doing the whole berating Alpha Academy thing. I think it's quite funny. Uh, I was like, sure, whatever. I think it's still kind of funny. Basically when I do for losing her match against Shayna this past weekend, uh, and basically told Otis and Akira not to do their dance when they face off against Bronson and Sammy. Uh, and basically called Max Dean Dupree Taylor Not So Swift, which I thought was like, I was like, oh, I got a good chuckle. To Ivy Niles. We also had, so I was like, I'm just going to rattle off the top of my head of the qualifying match, because there's a big one that I did not see coming. But we had Kofi and Gunther, and I like this approach, especially by Kofi, because we all know that he could put it. He didn't already had a match against Gunther, so we already know he was gonna lose. He could put up good matches. That's not the problem. It's but I was like, it's the difference of where we're just like, oh my god, he's gonna get murdered by Gunther, and he came out basically striking first. He would basically trying to take the knee out of Gunther, like how he did Xavier Woods, and that really gave him a leg up during the whole match. Pretty much. I was like, Kofi was pretty much on the offensive throughout the whole thing, because he either was able to counter or go for the leg. Which I also sort of like too. That I'm like, after a while of like wrestling people, you should start knowing like their moves and stuff like that. But yeah, but in the end, Gunther just over, he basically turned, he basically holds his way through it. Where he just like gives that jump of adrenaline, like somebody just hit him with a pin, and just basically power bombs Kofi, and then said, "No, I don't want the 3 count. I'm gonna put you in a Boston Crab and have you tap out." And Gunther gets to go to the next one. Uh, I was like, got a Jey Uso promo, yeet. We also got an Ilja one later on. His was more being respectful, but also bigging himself up. But also talking about how he's the only one that beat Gunther, and Gunther's like right there. So that's going to be looming in the future, especially in the future. Um, I was like, we got an interview with Valkyria, and you know, basically like anytime Becky needs help, I'm there for Becky. Becky was like, thanks, you know, basically. She walks this way. Then you see Liv pop up and just ask like, yo, when and Becky been such a bitch, and Valkyria's like, why don't you ask her? And Becky's behind her, which is over here, and it's like, I like it was like some real funny cartoon type of stuff. Um, and then she just punches Liv like straight in the jaw. Uh, I was like, we had JD asking Braun for a match, so we're gonna well not ask for a match, just basically staying out of their business. We also had I was like Carlita was back there at a time too, being like, I know you don't trust me, but they do. Do you not trust your own people, kind of thing. And I was like, later on, it comes into effect. Um, we got a really good match out of Shayna Baszler and Io Sky, which I thought I was like, which the videos they've been doing to lead up to all these matches, I thought have been pretty good. Like to give like a good quick synopsis of them, like real like you know, I was like, yes, it's not pay per view level, but I was like, it's really good. Um, I was like, I think this is the best that Shayna has looked on the main roster. I want to say it since maybe her feud with Becky and NXT invading. Like it's been quite a while that they've had her like where she was doing moves. She wasn't just like dragging it out. Like she was going fast paced with Io while also still doing like her tactics and her heel submissions and stuff like that. So in that instance, I was like, oh, okay, cool. I was like, this is fine. Um, you know, yeah, which I think is fine. Um, I was like, I was like, but yeah, no, I was like, EO got the win. I knew that was going to happen, but I just like that they actually made Shayna look like something. They actually made her with the submission moves and all, and like the kicks and all that other stuff. I was like, I mean, don't get me wrong, she doesn't look as fluid as she did in the NXT days, but I'm like, there's still something there. It's Triple H gonna do it. I was like, we don't know if he'll bring that side back out. But Io gets the win. I was like, no shocker here. Um, well, I was like, we'll see. I was like, for the Raw side, I like look like she might be the pick. I don't know, but I was like, cause then we got Valkyria and Zoe Starks in this match, and to me, this one didn't really have like it didn't. I was like, I felt like they were being a lot more aggressive with their stuff. I was like, but I was like, I don't know, maybe it just didn't have the same type of feel as the Shayna and Io match. But I did like the end transition where it did seem like Zoe had the one up on Valkyria, and then we're about to go for her. I forgot her move, but and Valkyria basically just was able to. I was like flip that and do like a basically like a fisherman's falcon arrow kind of thing. I know the actual name. Don't kill me. Uh, and get the win over Zoe, and she's moving on, which I figured as well. So we'll get EO Valkyria. We'll see how that sort of goes. Cause I'm like, I mean, there's a good case for both of them, which I mean, that was you sort of wanted these positions anyway. Um, I was like, considering all things, I was like it might. I was like, EO might get this one. I was like considering what happened in the next one, I was like, we seem like we're going to have the rookies have a good showing, but give it to a young one here at the same time, you know, but someone to stamp their dominance, I guess I should say, or that they're a rival of being here, you know, which is sort of what it's supposed to do. Um, then we got sort of like some filler matches, like we got some real filler matches, and then we got just like, oh, okay, cool match. And about like so, like Akira Tozawa faced Bronson Reed. There was really nothing here. I would like Akira Tozawa tried a couple things on offense, but it didn't really last long. Once he tore his shirt, Bronson Reed basically destroyed him with 2 moves. Um, so that was really just nothing. Then we had Otis versus Sammy, and I was like, for a good bit, it was actually like, like Otis was putting on the work on Sammy, and then Sammy fell, and Chad told him not to do the worm. Then they was arguing about doing the worm, but Otis got the feeling in the bones to do the worm, and he tore off his shirt, and guess what? He did the worm, and he was still pretty much good in the match until Chad was over here yapping. And then guess what? Haluva kick, over, done. Then he's berating the hell out of Otis in the ring, mushing him in the face. Sammy comes in and basically uh, uh, suplex him. He goes out. Otis picks him up, trying to be like, coach, 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 or whatever like that. Chad turns around, says, your fault. Slaps the hell out of him. And yeah, then after that, I was like, Chad just walked through, like, come on. As Otis just like a dog, whimpering. Then we got Becca versus Dakota Kai. I was like, those two were fillers. I was like, this was just a good match. And I was like, it's actually, to me, doing something. But Dakota Kai and Becky, I was like, get into a whole ordeal. And I was like, towards the end, I was like, they're basically flipping around. Which I was like, I didn't even mention this because I was like, it escaped my mind. But that's what I liked about the Io Shayna match. They was like flipping, flopping, submission moves. I was like, there was a good Coda clutch by Shayna. But anyway, to Becky's doing the same thing because I was like, she got Dakota Kai from a suplex, basically trying to do the armbar. No, Dakota Kai flips over, but guess what? Now that's definitely Becky's special. And Damage Control basically comes in, jumps her, and Valkyrie comes in, and they take them all out. Then at the last minute, Liv comes in, throw Becky right into her shoulder, right into the pole. Basically got to get her leg back. Yeah, so then I was like, we get Jey versus Ilja. And really good match. I was like, didn't do a crazy amount of kicks, because that's always something they talk about with Jey. I thought it was, I was like real good of like, doing like strength stuff, and just being Jey being swift in the ring. But I was like, in the end, thought it was gonna be over. I'm not gonna lie, thought it was gonna be over. He basically hit his forearm move, and it just looked like, okay, this is it for Jey. And then it seemed like he was trying to go again. Jey spears him, and it was a really good spear too. It was a really good spear. And jumps off the ropes, and that's it. And it was like, oh, okay. I didn't see it coming. I didn't think Jey would win here, but I also sort of knew, not just because of what happened earlier with Gunther and Ilja, but I knew earlier that I'm like, okay, how are they going to try to avoid this matchup? How are they going to try to avert it? And Jey just won. Now, Jey won cleanly and smoothly, so that's sort of odd, I guess, in that situation. But hey, he still won. And you do have Gunther come out, sees Ilja, chuckles, then sees Jey, and they have a stare off. I think Jey's gonna win now. I don't know. I guess because it's 2 on the nose that Gunther will be King General of the Ring. That don't sound right, but you get what I'm saying. Ring King of the Ring. But yeah, so that's like, I don't know. I'm just surprised that they had Ilja lose smoothly, but there was really no other way. You had 2 baby faces, so yeah. Anyway, that was raw recap everything. I'm still shocked about the ending. I really didn't see that coming as much as everybody loved Jey. Yeah. Anyway, till next time. Out.